and welcome to episode 505. That sounds about right. Of Prog Review. And today I'm talking, like I promised, about Apollo, Atmospheres and Soundtracks by that there, Brian Eno. But this time he's assisted with Daniel Lanois and Roger Eno. So it's a bit of a family affair. I think this one's pretty well known. It's pretty hard to get on vinyl now though. This is a later one because look, it's got a barcode on it. It cost me a little bit, but not as much as some of the first pressings do. Nice and shiny, isn't it? Apollo, released 1983, so a year after On Land we was talking about in the last one. And like I said, Eno's got Roger, his brother, and Daniel Lanois on board. This was originally recorded for a feature film, like a documentary it was actually called Apollo, but they retitled it For All Mankind, and it's by a director called Al Reinhardt. I don't know if it's out there. You could probably find it. It's probably out there somewhere. But this is the soundtrack to that. So it's a bit like you remember public service broadcasting. They did Race for Space. This is kind of the first version of that. And it's been used. It's been used a lot because if you've watched any movies from Mr. Rose Virgins, that was not a movie, but it was a TV show starring Jonathan Pryce, I believe, and Kathy Burke. And Minnie Driver. Oh, blimey, where did that come from? It's about a cult. Very good story it was. And they used a track from this. I think it was an ending, Ascent, for the Rapture scene where they, yeah. And of course, it's been used in 28 Days Later, and of course, Train Spotting, where Renton goes down the Carsey. Deep Blue Day, isn't it that one? I think, yeah. I think that's what it's called, Deep Blue Day. Sounds about right. And so what you've got here is you've got a mix of music. It is slightly ambient, I guess. There are some tunes. Lanois gets his pedal steel guitar out. It is very spacey. But I like the liner notes, and I've never been able to read the liner notes before because look, I don't know if you can see, they're almost impossible to read. But I actually read these. And it made me understand because what I was hearing, because I always called this like kind of space cowboy music, and that's what it says in here. They regarded the astronauts as kind of like cowboys in space, and so that's why you've got this kind of twangy American country and western, kind of sort of cyber country and western feel to some of the tracks. And it's a really out there album. Again, this is why the tracks have been used in many movies and many TV shows as placements. I think I even used them in adverts, and used tracks from this in adverts, such as its span. That's how good it is. It is good. It is a good album. I'd covered this before. There was a cover version of this, wasn't there? Oh God, who did the cover version? Can anyone remember? No, I can't. But that was interesting. Icebreaker, that was it. I knew it was in there somewhere with BJ Cole on pedal steel guitar. I mean, again, it's very hard for me to talk about this because it is largely ambient music. It is a soundtrack, but there's more detail. There's more detail to this one. I do think you need to listen to this. There is purpose to it. It is an illustrative album. I.e., it is meant to illustrate the wonder and splendour of our journey off this tiny pale blue dot into the inky emptiness of space. And, more importantly, to the moon. To the moon, indeed. So yeah, I mean, I do recommend this one. This is another classic album. I think this is out there. This is one of those ones that I think you do need to listen to. Apparently, there is bits of this from the film that never made it onto the album. If you go to the Wikipedia page, you can read up all about it. It's very, very, very interesting to see what bits were not used and have subsequently been released on other Eno albums like Music for Films 2 and 3 or whatnot. On Music for Films, obviously. You know what I mean. So yeah, very good, very good album. I know it's short. I know this is a short one. I know. I haven't got a lot more to say on it. It did come, if I remember correctly. There was my first experience of this album was on the 1989 Brian Eno box set to celebrate 20 odd years of EG Records, and I believe that it had a copy of Apollo, Atmospheres and Soundtracks in that green box. I sold my copy ages ago. You do, don't you? You do. And that was my first experience of this album. And then, because I've been on this massive vinyl thing for the last, I don't know how many years, I picked up again on the old black stuff. So yeah, do track this one down. I think you will be delighted by it, especially the familiarity. Even if you haven't heard this album, you will listen to this and you will go, "This seems very familiar," because a lot of this music has been used elsewhere, and it will fit. And that will. I've got a funny feeling that will be a little unsettling for you, because you're going to go, "Wow, I know that, and." I want to hear. I want you to go and listen to this. I want you to tell me about your experiences, how you found it, and if it was as familiar as I says it is. So anyway, I'm going to round it up there. I know it's a bit of a short one, but it's a good record, Ambient country and western space cowboy music. What more could you want? And on that, I'm going to give it 5 deep blue days out of 5. That's 5 deep blue days out of 5. For this classic record. I've been talking about, of course, Apollo, Atmospheres and Soundtracks by Brian Eno with Roger Eno and Daniel Lanois. You must check it out, I insist. And of all the ambient records, I think this one's probably got the real popular appeal. Yeah, me. Anyway, thanks for watching. I think I might do Hybrid next. I might talk about Hybrid or one of the others. I'm done discrete music. I should do Hybrid, then discrete music, and then that will round up the Brian Eno. Now the red light starts to flash. Battery light. So I'm going to round that up now. Thank you for watching. My name's Darren Locke. You can give me all your money. There's links in the box below. Come on, just hand it over. Come on, hand it over, because I am one of those terrible YouTube cyber fame junkies. Go on, find a vein, inject me with that cyber fame, and with that, prog on.